Hey dudes! I don't know, it's kind of far away, so to be honest, I can't tell if I need to talk louder than normal or not. But, so God says we're not here to step on anyone's toes anymore, and I want to honor that. God's here, she's on the planet, she's in the physical. Yeah, we're all God with God, but if we're not doing anything for love, then we don't have a place here anymore. And I don't know if that's correct to say, but love is an energy transfer. It's energy moving. It's the only constant. Love in action. So if the vibration is going up on the planet, then the lower frequencies aren't going to be a vibrational match anymore for existing here in the physical on Earth equals heart. And that's about as good as anyone could have asked for. Because, and I just saw a little ding on my phone after saying that. If we want the bad shit to stop, but as a whole we're too apathetic to do anything about it, then we need a little discipline. We need a lot of discipline. And love's here to give that to us. Love's our teacher. So as we only do things for self-important reasons, those things will no longer be supported. And yippee. So I'm doing my part. I'm talking to you guys about it. Now, and then this is the other part, you know, like love in action, create. If you're not creating, you're probably depressed, full of anxiety, regret, wondering why you're here, what's the point? Now, a long time ago, I was a real heavy drinker. And crochet is actually what got me out of it before I knew God was on the planet. And I would suggest trying something. Like, the feeling of creating, it's really weird. So, I picked up crochet, and I'm sitting there, and I've got my boots, right? And I'm crocheting, and I just so happened to notice that hours are going by, and I'm not drinking. If you were to ask me if I wanted to drink, I'd more than likely say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to drink. I'm not used to feeling any other way. But here I am experiencing myself not drinking and not craving it. Like, I literally don't want to stop this to pick that up. And in all honesty, when I do drink, now crochet takes a lot longer. Now I'm making a lot of mistakes. So, what a weird feeling, right? I mean, growing up, I said to myself, well, that's weird. Like, being 18 and older, being an adult, it seems to mean we'll never be sober another day again in our life. And that was, it was funny. It's a sad realization, but it's funny. Well, okay, that seems a little, chaotic, or, unsustainable. Or, I mean, it seems ridiculous, like, to think of the fact that we're being run by only people on drugs, pharmaceuticals, coffee, and all the other shit. And you know all the big wigs are on shit. I mean, ain't nobody fucking that rich and hoarding that much money and self-sustained emotionally. So, I mean, how crazy is that, dude? We're run by a bunch of drug addicts. So what can we do? A fucking lot. We can do a lot, man. I realized a long time ago that I didn't want to, life's too much to be working for somebody else, depressed, listening to breakup music, whatever, shit you don't even agree with, for fucking $7 an hour. So what are we gonna do about it? I mean, it doesn't take more than one brain cell to figure out that in a capitalistic society, the one with the most money wins. Well, okay. That sounds fucking fair game to me. Because now it's down to whoever's gonna try the hardest. Hey, it's a good time to be a try-hard, people. Like, now, it literally comes down to the battle of the laziness. Like, straight up. Because if all it takes to get to be your way, and if you think that you got the more peaceful, better way, is to make more money than the other guy, well, that's fucking hilarious. And pretty elementary shit to figure out. So then what's everybody doing complaining, man? Like, I got bird chirps on that. Like, what is everybody doing spending their time complaining, man? Because we can't think we're smart, talk like we're big, and then be doing the dumb thing. Because that makes us look dumb, and therefore we are dumb, and therefore we're just bullies with our big mouths, talking about how other people ain't shit. And now, in my experience, when I'm used to saying that, I'm used to catching only the people that are fucking bullies. If I say people ain't shit in a fucking room, whoever looking at me fucking sideways, telling me, saying, who you calling a bitch? I'm saying, you, nigga. I mean, it wasn't even me. You just did. You just called yourself out. Ego always call itself out. But like I said, when I started this video, God says, we're not here to step on toes. So I gotta quit that shit myself. So and you know what we're doing? We're not just not standing up for love no more. That's not what that means. What that means is your actions, man, is what's gonna change the world. So now it means instead of sitting in a room having a good time and laughing about how people ain't shit and how I really thought they were something when I was younger, it means being in that room crocheting. It means creating joy for everybody. Why? Because I want joy on this planet. I don't care if they deserve it. Because everything is transmuted through love. Everything is transmuted through joy. Like, you think somebody who just had a good time and their first instincts to go ruin somebody's day? Now, I've met that guy. But that's not most people. And, you know, some of us, that is, like, our story, you know, for this lifetime, many lifetimes, whatever, is being right in that, like, nook and cranny where it's like you got the motherfucker who don't know shit and ruining everybody's lives. And you got the motherfucker who knows shit but keeping him to himself. And everybody in between. Okay. Shit. Like, every time you touch your face, it's your handler, man. Little winks out there. So it means I'm probably touching on something good here. Which I know I am. But what I'm trying to say is we have to go from that energy to like bringing like charisma back to joy. Like, we ain't trying to lose what we became. Like, that feeling, that good, like that feeling of being alive. And I don't mean stealing energy. I mean, like, that moment when you just stood between two people in a fight and they just fucking backed down because of your energy. And it's not even because you're a big motherfucker. I'm a big motherfucker. But what just happened is they just saw respect for life. And they're respecting life back. Those are the people that you want to keep. Like, I got goosebumps on that. Okay, respect for life is important. And it's changed, like, in my way of expressing that is changing all the time. Same for everybody else. Like, we have to keep evolving our way of expressing. And there's a being here on the planet showing us the example, in person, in the physical, of being love. And love ain't all rainbows. I don't know that there's many people still around who believe that love is just only rainbows. And if that is where you're at, it's time you have to evolve. Love is what's highest and best for everybody. And if somebody in the mind is going to tell me there ain't no fucking way I can know what that is, who the fuck am I? Well, I'm love. And I'm speaking to you on love. Do we just let somebody get raped because it's rude to interrupt them? No. Hey, I don't like what's going on. Point of the fact is that being in consent. What are you doing? Are you bored? Are you angry? What's up? But yeah, hold on. I'll get water. So I want to inspire, man. Not for me. Not for what I'm going to get out of it. This is for mom. This is for love. Like, what am I going to get out of personally inspiring people? To the ego, they're going to be all like, no, don't inspire nobody. Don't give them any idea how to be happy. And especially don't give them any idea on how to fucking be happy and make money off of what makes them happy. Because that'll fuck us up. Like, there's only so much abundance. And if I let that guy get a fucking thing, I ain't gonna get laid tonight. like that's how the ego works. me. But in the flip, it's more like, hey, I really don't want people to be abused. I really don't want people to be in an experience that feels like they're being raped day in and day out, physically, energetically, emotionally, from their own damn selves. So what am I gonna do about it? I'm gonna first feel love, and then that road led me to this grand adventure that we're on. And then I'm gonna share things that when I feel into, I'm like, oh, sparked ya. No, you know what I mean? Like, and even there, like, take out that little bit of cockiness, that's just my unworthiness coming out, you know. But the point is like, now everybody's happy and nobody's getting abused no more. Like you can be apathetic, but the problem is there's shit going on. And don't get it twisted. We're all having experiences that we signed up for. Nobody's a victim. At the same time, let's move out of this space where those experiences need to be signed up for love to expand. Okay, let's be more compassionate than that. Let's give a fuck. Let's actually give a fuck. All those fucking views out there about I ain't got no fucks to give. Well, what do you got to offer a world of love? Right, let's offer something. So think about it in this perspective. Or fuck that. Feel into it from this perspective. In the physical, where we believe that if I give you this pyramid, well, I'm fucked. Now, you have a pyramid and I don't. Now, I think we can all agree, I feel we can all agree that in spirit and ideas, energy, now, or like even just as a form right here, I have an idea, I'm sharing this idea with you. I no longer just don't have this idea. I didn't give my idea away and now I don't have it. So if that's true on one level, it's true on all levels. Like, the funny thing about humanity and the ego program mind is it likes to pick and choose what's true for what, when, where, how, and why according to its fucking schedule. No. And this was a grand realization to have a long time ago, because if you want to be real, and you're telling yourself that you are, and you're telling every motherfucker down the block that you are, you're gonna have to be real enough to feel, because people are evolving. And people are evolving a lot faster than some of us. And some of us are evolving a lot faster than others. And regardless, what used to be love has evolved out of love. You know, like love has evolved and expanded. And there's nothing we can say about that. We can't say, I don't like that. We can't say, not in my world. Like, because now we're a bully. Now we're the bully turning our back on life. And you'd be a fool to think that that's not going to bleed into everything. Into how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, into how you feel about other people and how you treat other people. Now everyone's the fucking problem but you, right? Hella wrong. Heaven wrong. I watch it daily, momentarily, like every fucking second. Like, being aware isn't, oh, I'm aware for like 1 second while this experience happens, and then, whoop, be back for the next experience. Because for every moment that you're not present, you are the robot. You can only be pushing other agendas. And if you have only programmed yourself with the agendas of egos, you're a puppet. And here we're running into the roadblock. Everyone knows we're the puppets, but they're like relishing in it and enjoying it instead of doing something about it. Now, my perspective on this is that a lot of people were down so high, so low, that when they got that 1 second of, ooh, no, I'm fucking, they don't want to let it go, but, like, they ain't shit. Like, we ain't shit for that. Because if there's still people being raped, beaten, fucking sold, fucking enslaved, fucking, which is every being, except mom. We ain't shit. As long as that's still going on. And we're trying to fucking plateau off somewhere. Breathe, guys. That's how you get unfucked. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Because otherwise, we're just recycling that mental shit. We're you know, I've been feeling into this lately from my own experience. And when you just breathe, when you just feel okay, when you feel okay and you're breathing in and out of your nose, you're just getting high on life. Like, you ain't doing shit, you're just laying there. So you're using life to feel good, but you're not giving nothing back. You know, I'm starting from a pretty low spot where we haven't done anything for life in a long time, because everything's a balance and everything's in cycles, and those moments do come. They are earned, deserved experience, but you have to earn, deserve experience to get to that. You gotta do something for love first. Perfect, super simple example. Love is simple, guys. When you wake up in the morning, make your bed, man. Because if you don't have enough energy to make your bed, you don't have enough energy to stop the rapes and the beatings and the fucking oppression. And this is an energy war. This is a spiritual war. So it ain't about picking up arms, because that would only perpetuate it. Like, look at it like this, dude. Momentum. The singing bowl, right? For any of you who've ever played it, or if you can even feel into it. Like, when I got mine, it took me like 2 weeks or 3 days or some shit, some downtime I was unhappy with, to figure out how to play it. Because I thought you had to, like, create the sound, like when you blow through a wind instrument. But you put the paddle on it and you push, and it builds the momentum, and it gets louder and fucking louder and fucking louder, and you can let go for a while, let it turn tone down, then come back. That's what mom's doing. Like, that's what God is doing. Like, God, mom, she's the fucking, the thing pushing it, right? We're the bowl. she fucking pushing it. Now, like, we gotta go from just sitting in the bowl going, wah! Like, fucking having a grand old time, or a horrible old time, whatever the fuck that is for you, to, whoa, like, as we're being love and action for mom, we're like part of mom now, like pushing the fucking thing. Now maybe mom's got a little bit of wiggling room to be in the bowl going, hey, it tickles, hey, you know, let's do something for God. Like, the tube torus, if anybody knows what that word is, where it folds in on itself. Now, I heard back in 2015, and feel into everything, guys. It's not about the words, man. Your soul knows what's up. And it's going to lead you to the nuggets that are going to trigger you, because it's like, hey, like, you're missing the grandest thing that's ever happened. Like, this planet is ascending physically. God's here. All the other planets were ascended. So, the story of creation. You got mom. Creation created itself. It gave it, you know, it was born into awareness, mom. And of course, there was a consciousness that came out of that was first. It'd be a little silly to think it was just like one batch of popcorn where every kernel of popcorn popped at the exact same time and like, boom, bada bing. There was at least one person who had to figure out how to pop that popcorn at the same time. One being. So you got God. Now, God's like, hey, the most fucking dope thing ever would probably be to have a mirror of myself. Like, let's do more of this. Let's experience more of this. So she makes father, right? Not out of her heart, out of her energy. Not out of her physical fucking rib. What a dumbass place to make something out of. Oh, I love so much. Let me just fucking break my rib off and make something out of that. Like, no. That would be dysfunction. So, and then they had their 144,000 kids, man, because God lives at fucking large, dude. Everything's bigger in fucking love. God's born in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. And look, hell's freezing over right now. So now she's got her kids. And I have no idea how this would happen, but, you know, everything's gonna happen in creation eventually. And maybe it was time to expand, who fucking knows. But so Jehovah, right, is like, ayo, fucking dipped out of there, right? He's like, I'm gonna be love outside of love, I guess. He just wanted to be outside of love, you know, like the first act of self-importance, I suppose, because, hey, it's part of love. You just don't want to be, you can do whatever you want, like, anywhere. Like, why do you have to not be a part of love to do whatever it is that you want to do, Jehovah? Who knows? That's why I'm like, maybe it's just trying to expand, I don't fucking know. But, so he did that, and it created the first thought of separation. And so energy outside of energy, just think about this very literally, is going to fizzle out, because you're not connected to the energy source. Well, now you're probably like a fucking bloodthirsty addict, right? You're like, fuck, everything I was doing, everything, like, you know, like, it doesn't seem to be around me anymore, like, so there's mom and dad, so all these things in creation happen, all this separation, so it's going around just eating planets, destroying everything, sucking off of creation, and mom's like, alright, hey dad, our kids are fucking dumb, or not, whatever, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, well, people are asking for our help. They're prayed for us. Humanity's asking for our help. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stay up here in the light so that I can't be tainted. And you're gonna go down to the lowest of the low. And all the bad guys are gonna worship you. They're gonna send their energy to you. Like, oh, please, Lucifer. But he's God's counterpart. All that energy goes back to God. Lucifer says, it doesn't even matter. He could command them and be all like, everybody back to God. And they gotta go, right? But say if even they don't listen, just like Jehovah or whatever. Doesn't matter. They still praying to Lucifer. They still praying to something. And all the energy's going back to God now. All of it. Like there was like a big puncture in the balloon or something. And like whatever. Now there's nowhere to go without God. God's fucking everywhere. Now that was always a thing, but that's what I'm saying. Like, work with me, people. I feel into this. Please don't get triggered by the words. I hate even saying the word please. It's unnecessary. Don't get triggered by the words. And if it's like, like, this hurt way too much, like, I don't even remember what you said, like, I just know that I don't like you, and I don't like the way I feel right now, and you're the face I'm looking at, and I don't remember anything you said, but, you know, like, then watch it over again. You guys, I can't see who's, like, watching this right now. Lovehaswon.org. Okay, Love Has Won on YouTube. Like, be divine. Do your research. You know, like, nobody's gonna tell you to take every fucking word that they have to say, like, as fucking God, because we're not there yet. We're still in the programming, like, thing. So, no matter what we say, it's gonna come through probably a filter or a lens of something, right? So, that's when you really have to use your heart. Now, it didn't take me more than, like, 2 seconds to watch a video. Like, okay, so, a little backstory. When, I did the hardest thing I'd ever had to do for love, because I was an abuser and I loved somebody, and I moved 2,000 miles away because I knew that if I didn't move that far away, that I was going to come back, and I knew that I hadn't grown anymore. Like, yeah, I love you, but apparently I'm such a piece of shit that doesn't matter enough to me on any level to not hurt you, and that's really fucked up. So I did the only thing that I could do, because, you know, like, you could sit there and evolve. Well, it wasn't happening, okay? Like, so there's a certain cutoff point where they don't fucking deserve it. And, so, yeah. And then, so, I'm, you know, I had a couple readings before I went down to Florida, and this being came through, and they're like, hey, my label's Tareen. Like, you're gonna remember Lemuria. Like, you will remember. You know, I came through strong. And I was like, cool. So I get to Florida, and they said I'd be able to talk telepathically with dolphins, right? So I'm smoking some weed. Fucking. Like, dude, do I look up Lemuria or do I not? Like, do I just let it happen to me? Well, I looked it up. And thank God I did, because that's what led me to all these, to the rest of my fucking journey. So I'm looking up videos on, like, and shit, right? Like, I have the cliche car accident, broke 9 ribs on my left side, my neck in 3 places, my back in 3 places, my face on the right side, fucking my collarbone. Like, I wasn't transforming people. And if you're not gonna transform, but you still want to be here in the physical experience, things like that is what's gonna happen for you. And it's very real. And I feel very intensely that we all feel that shit coming. Like, ain't nobody fucking blindsided on this planet. I mean, like you are until you're not. Like, I feel like I got blindsided a few more times than the average person would probably need to be blindsided before, like, they, got a real grounded look and took things seriously. But hey, childlike wonder's grand. At the same time, like, I feel life's going through the eye of the storm right now, the needle hole. It's very precise what's happening. There's a lot of bad shit, and there's a lot of shit that's been set up from the good people, and, you know, like, our apathy, our confusion, our wanting to fight instead of learn. There's not a lot of wiggle room for especially certain beings, but as a whole, man, like, and that's just it, though. God's saying that we don't need to be aggressive with it. Sorry, I'm remembering that I started a different story. Alright, so I see this video God. Like, all those videos led me to watching Mom. And it was a 4-minute video of her sitting on a swing, yelling, yippee! You know, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But she said, donation. Readings for donation. And my ego was like, yay, I can afford that. It says, you know, 7777 is a recommended donation, and I didn't do that. I did 2222 because I took somebody else's credit card, and I knew that they'd be okay with me to spend in 2222. The self-importance still leading to God. Through the wiggle room of love. But I didn't know she was God. Like, she never said she was God on that video as far as I knew. And so I have this session with her. I called in. We had the session. And she's like, oh, how'd you find me? I was like, YouTube. But she never said, hey, I'm God. She never asked me if I knew she was God. Maybe she assumed I knew. I don't know. She's God. She fucking. And so yeah. And so she reads me off this list, and here, I'll read it right now. I got it. I'll post it in the comments after. And she's like, okay, so the angels are, you know, letting me know that, or I don't know what word to use, assisting me, telling me that to read you off the list. And it's a list of egoic traits, and, you know, she said, for everyone that you think you have, write it down. Now, I think it would take only one brain cell and one heart cell to understand on a very fucking real level that we all have every single one of them. Like I never would have questioned that. I didn't question it. I never would have questioned it. I don't question it now. It was explained to me one time by Faith that she felt that we would do ego check percentages, and the percentage was for how much we use each of the traits. And I just got a ding on that. It's not about, you know, you transform something, now it's transformed forever. Like, no, that's a fantasy. That's a fantasy. But cool, right? I mean, how fucking boring would it be if it was a one and done? You know, like, how could creation have ever lasted this long? That's what it was. For anything. But so, of course, as a fractal of it, boom, here's another fractal of it. So I wrote down each one of these. And I suggest that anybody watching this who doesn't know what this is to do it too. Or who's never, you know, who isn't already part of Love is One, who hasn't already done this. But I would suggest doing this every fucking day anyway. I did this in jail for like 30 days. And then again on the bracelet before I went out to Mama God. And you know what? When I got there, I didn't have to transform. Like, I mean, that's not what I mean. God damn it. I didn't have to do a transformation to get into the household. And later on, like, I found out that's a real big thing. Like, if you come from the outside world, you get here, like, because the first time I did it after I was there, I got back, and Faith came up to the door, dude, and she's hanging out at the door, and she's like, the fuck? Like, you guys need to get out there and fucking cleanse yourself of the energy. Like, she's like, I'm fucking pissed. I've been chopping wood. Like, energy, you guys came back with, like, rage and shit. Like, it's so fucking strong. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with it. And I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, that's crazy, dude. Like, how the fuck did I come there the first time and not have to do any of that? To get it, you know? And so that's the proof, dude. To an ego, it's gonna be all like, what, bitch, did you just take from me? Did you just say that you got there and you didn't have to transform? And now I have to live up to that standard, or else I'm not gonna feel good about myself. And don't you fucking be like love in action over there. But yeah, you know, like, don't let anybody else get triggered by you being love in action and then make you feel a bad way. Like, there's gonna be a part of your ego for at least 1 millisecond that's like, whoop. Now I get to go off on you because you just did something wrong. Like, no, dude. Like, the time for that's done. Like, the time for that's just over. The time for that's done. Okay, now it's, oh, okay, shit. Like, the trigger. Okay, cool. Like, what can I do to make everybody laugh? Like, what can I give? I'm not gonna, just because you can. Of course you can. You're a fucking goddamn warrior. You're a love warrior. You didn't get to be incarnated without being able to be a precise dragon energy at certain moments of your experience, man. So, but what does a wise being do? What does a loving being do? You're always transforming it, dude. Like, you don't want to have to use the negative power, and I feel we're only addicted to that sensation because we haven't created for so long. Because when you're spreading joy and you're like, wow, I did AOE this whole fucking area, man. Like, there's fucking love everywhere. Like, blow it, like that. You're gonna see the attack on the one single ego or pecking order or whatever. And you're gonna see it for what it is, and I'll leave it at that. It's bullying. It's bullying. And know, alright, well here's the list, guys. It's, I put it like this when I do my ego death ceremonies. You write it, read it, burn it. Now, when people say voodoo, I'm gonna say feel into it, because it ain't that fucking hard to fucking understand, or to feel into the fact that writing it, saying it, burning it is way more energy than just la-di-da-di-da, not doing a fucking damn thing. So let's spend, dude. So I transform, I release all lack of wisdom, lack of experience, lack of compassion, lack of passion, lack of feelings, unworthiness, arrogance, taking from humanity and the planet, childhood wounding, childish behavior, robotic habits and behavior, preference to pain and suffering due to unworthiness, self-importance, lack of perception, lack of integrity, lack of honor, lack of empathy, lack of self-love, ignorance, attachment to people, places, and things, incubus and succubus energy, the taking of energy through words, touch, sex, and other abilities. And just to touch on that one, no pun intended, like, I've found out that lately that I feel like the incubus, succubus energy is, like, so precise, or like, has got, like, so much, like, less wiggle room, in my experience, that now it's, like, come to, like, cutting energies off from people. And I'm not trying to. Like, I'm not intentionally wanting to do this. Like, trust me, I'm really trying to evolve out of this by being aware. And you have to, like, dude, it comes down to just being aware, like, in every moment of all of the frequencies you're using. Because I feel like everything goes down to self-importance. And Elle gave me a grand, I just got a sneeze in the background for that. Realization. He said, you go into self-importance because you feel uncomfortable. Well, okay, and so that's unworthiness, right? So it goes from, like, unworthiness to self-importance to all the rest of these things. So I've found that I'll be sharing a story with my friend, and he will comment after, like, totally in the experience with me. And for some reason, I'm like, my energy's cutting him off. And I think it can happen either through fear that they're gonna whatever, or too much excitement. Like I said, the energy is becoming super precise. God is has been forced into needing to be extremely precise. Because as nobody else is expanding, and not near, like, you know, like, one second. This is just water, guys. As nobody else is expanding per contract, and we're all contracted to be here, specifically to wake up to God, to the fact that we are God, to the fact that God is on the planet in a physical, and yeah, if we're all God, then duh, then why is anybody fighting that statement? Then just duh. Now, who's being the biggest light? Okay, this being, probably good to follow a grand being's example, like, not follow, but this is, again, like, God's trapped, right? Everybody put God in a box, like, even down to communication, because people aren't feeling into things, they're thinking, and they're getting triggered, and they're reacting to the words. You have to slow down. I have to slow down. We gotta slow down. So anyway, because, you know, like, yeah, you can cut off a person because you don't think they know it, like, best. You don't think they know best, and only the ego knows, because it's love in the unknown. But you can also do it because you're too excited. Like, you can't get ahead of God. Now, you can add to love, but you can't be all like, oh, because I'm in unworthiness, and then self-importance, and then lack of compassion, lack of honor, lack of self-love, ignorance. Shit. then you might be too excited, you might, or like whatever, or maybe you're not taking life seriously enough. So instead of adding to what God's already doing, like what the highest light is doing for the good of all, like, so adding to it or following his example, like, ain't gonna hurt nothing. You're going off and doing your own thing. Well, now you came here and you contracted on a mission for God to ascend this planet. So it is your job to fucking listen to God. She's your commander, bro. She's your fucking commander. And, ding. And so you going off and doing your one little thing, well, now you took your energy that could be massive and adding to the whole, and you're in ego, so it's pretty small, and you're doing your own little thing, and you're going da-da-da-da-da. Now, you're not fucking accomplishing anything. And anything you might be doing in your self-importance and whatever, you know, ain't gonna be here. Because God's taking everything that's inorganic and making it organic. And self-importance isn't organic. Unworthiness isn't organic. Fear isn't organic. False evidence appearing real. Ego, edging God out. Like, that's all going away. So anything made in the ego mind, anything made out of fear, ain't gonna be here. House of Cards. God's blowing that shit down, dude. And you're like sitting there fucking with your ego, and your ego buddy's like trying to hold your card up, like God's like blowing it down, and you're like, dude, like, no, I'm holding my card up. This is what I want. I want to fight like this so hard for the rest of existence. Like, this is the best. Like, no, let it go. Let it go, dude. Like, I get it. I did it. And when people say, hey, I did it, like, I'm not like, oh, they think that they did it in the past, and they don't think they're ever going to do it again, and that they're not doing it now, or whatever. Like, fuck, I gotta tell them who they are. Like, no, dude, like, please, let's have more awareness in that. Let's feel deeper than that, okay? Let's stop being the wardens of the prison and hurting the ones we say we love, okay? And, alright, so there's that. We don't want to be assholes. You can't be so excited that you're out of the present moment and not contributing to what you came here to contribute to. And that's okay. Like, with the awareness transforms all, man. And control's a big bitch on this planet. Like, I feel like every time somebody hears something, they're like, no. Like, you're not gonna control me. Everything you just said feels like shackles. And I don't want nothing to do with it. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to be numb, and I'm going to hate life. Anyways, on my own, because you're making me hate life, when I already hate life on my own just fine, and it's a little more comfortable. So, for me, personally, what's helped me to get out of the feeling of control, because when love's saying we need to change, like, the ego is going to flip that on you and be all like, oh, they're trying to control you. What's happening here is respect for life. Where's my pyramid? It's not control, it's respect for life. It's not control, it's respect for life. Dog barks. Yeah, man, respect for life, dude. That's what we lost. Yeah. Yeah, man. Dog barks all the way. Okay, like, and whatever that means to you, you know, like, my energy right there was, like, quick to be all like, okay, let's go back into the list, and, yeah, I'm gonna finish the list, but respect for life, like, we just had a moment, we just had and that was real, and the dogs joined us, and love joined us, and, because the fun is in respecting life, like, respecting life takes care of all of this, in one fell eye of the needle swoop. And that's what all of us groovy motherfuckers, you know, like, people, like, I want to read this to you. Because there's a lot of us who worked hard to get to where we were at, like, worked hard to get to where we're at, or whatever, like, feeling good about ourselves, and having enough experiences that we know that, you know, other people aren't going to shut us down. 1 second. Oh, okay. Fucking, if you don't know where to go where function sits, putting on the Ritz. Like, that fucking line is brilliant. The opening line is brilliant. If you don't know where to go, if you want to be a ritzy bitch, whatever, dude. Like, any and all of the above. From where you don't know where to go to I want to fucking shine. Go to where function sits. Putting on the Ritz. Okay, because life's a fucking stage. It's a show. And if you want to shine, then you gotta be in function. You have to, I got goosebumps so hard. You gotta get rid of all this. So that you can fucking be a part of where function sits. So you putting on the Ritz, dude. Like, you want to be a part of it? You gotta be a fucking part of it, dude. Then you gotta be a part of it. You gotta be a part of it. Like, and it's grand. It's fucking grand. Like, I'm gonna, oh shit, see it? This is me too excited, man. Getting off track, but you guys are watching it in real time so that you can get an example of being like, oh, like, that's not a shitty person. And we're all working through things. And this is what working through it looks like. You know, I got dog barks and chimes over here. And that's grand. So, I love you guys. I love you guys a lot. And it's really real. You know, like, the experience is real. Being in your body, feeling, like, while you're doing things too, like, it's grand. Just, alright, so we're also releasing, transmuting, transforming, disrespect and hatred of the feminine and masculine, superiority, inferiority. See, I got a dog bark on superiority, you know, inferiority. Like, we all got it. There's, like, you can feel embarrassed for a little bit, or ashamed, guilty. But I'm just gonna tell you to be love in action and be your higher self, because that's gonna bring you joy. It's gonna bring her joy. She's your mom, dude. She wants you to have fun. We release and transmute, transform, all thinking we know better. Delusions of grandeur. Because if you're trying to be a self-important person, you will find yourself manifesting stuff for yourself and thinking that that's grand, but you're just putting yourself in a box of your own decorating. And that's a good one to feel into, because again, we have to keep circling back to it. Even if you don't care that you're in a box of your own prison box of your own decorating, there's people still being raped and beaten and killed. So you have to care about that. Because if you think you're a caring person, well, then apathy is being the problem. Or, like, I want to say it better than that. Like, apathy is being a people. You're just watching the rape happen. Only, like, you ain't watching it. You're like, oh, okay. Like, this is literally what's happening. It's like the rape's happening over there. And we don't care over here. That's a problem. and you know what? Like, fortunately, love is here to do something about that. And we all signed up to fight with love anyways, so the best thing that you can do is just surrender. Like, surrender to the fact that you are a love being. And we do have to go through the experience of feeling shame. I mean, we don't have to from love standards, but you're more than likely going to have to transform all of these things. And for each one of us that does it, it gets easier for the others. And my experience of this is the people who transform it at first probably were pretty angry. Or whatever, you know? Like, being able to see it and then, like, feeling boxed up, like they can't communicate, like, what's going on, and even if they do, nobody cares, and whatever. I don't know. I've always wanted life to kick my ass instead of allowing me to, like, be something hurting other things. So I'm just hoping for that level of strength and commitment from more people. We release, transmute, transform all severe impatience, inconsistency, complaining, easily distracted, quitter, laziness, complacent, reactive, cultural programming, white trash programming, control dramas, intimidated, interrogated, aloof, and poor me. And they attract each other. Hey, it's a suck fest. Not anymore. Not anymore. The givers will gather and the takers will take each other out, and make no mistake, there is an end for the ones that are not being loved. Yay. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Do your inner work. Be part of the solution. Be a part of the love lube. You know, greasing the wheels on the planet, getting fucking shit moving again, because addiction to pain and suffering is dumb. And it's self-important. And self-importance equals other people being raped and killed. Like, we keep following with me, people. Again, change our words. Don't follow with me. Be love in action, and let's fucking hang gang. We transmute, transform, release all fantasy, controlling, no accountability, jealousy, lack of beauty, validation, wanting to follow or be followed. That's why I keep saying I gotta take that word out. Reverence of the mind, reverence of animals, procrastination, poverty consciousness, always thinking in lack. You know, and I think that procrastination and poverty consciousness kind of goes hand in hand, because when you're not in poverty consciousness, you're not really procrastinating, because you have things because you're moving things. And see how fucking instantly your life is fucking different and transformed just by dropping procrastination. Especially in these energies. Like, love is looking for fucking holes to come in and just be love everywhere. Like, there's so much fucking gravity equals love on this planet. Like, there's, man, you know how many, like, billions of starships are up there? Fucking, like, fucking love just in, like, you know, so, like, if you let that love in for fucking, like, a second, whoo, you just fucking move some momentum, right? So, like, let's be it, like, do that, get in the flow and be it, push it real good. Be like the fucking mallet on the singing bowl, dude, like, play in the symphony. Procrastination's the one I'm working on due to unworthiness and all kinds of bullshit. So I'm excited. Like, I know that's gonna be a huge pop for the planet. Is dropping that one. Linear thinking and acting, which also goes along with that. Bitch conditioning, asshole conditioning, douchebag conditioning. Needing to be right, ungrateful, release, transmute, transform all this, spreading or participating in gossip. I feel that communication that, like, you just could feel is for love, because life is communication, life is expression, life is sharing. The point of life is to express yourself. So, like, that's when you gotta put your big boy and big girl pants on from the inside and be like, you know what you're doing? Like, you're not even doing it. Like, I'm telling, like, you do know what you're doing, so you have to be real with yourself. You know, at very precise levels. And watch as it transforms the people around you. And then realize, try not to be triggered by people growing around you. That's gonna be a big problem. Because it's happening, first of all, no matter what. And two, like, I don't really think very many of us want to be that guy. Like, it's pretty embarrassing to be threatened by other people's growth and love. And it's pretty embarrassing to tear people down. Like, you know what it looks like. You made fun of those people for probably years. Or, like, to yourself, or to your homies, whatever. Like, we all come from different walks of life, but we're all fucking experiencing the same shit. And that's as real as you can feel. So, We don't want to be that guy. And then there's a fine line that you can't like do some work and be like, ah ha ha ha, I'm uppity bitch superiority. Like, no, you will get fucking torn down fast for that. Because that's out of right action, man. Like, that's just, we don't have, if you wanted to be funny in the past, should have been funny in the past. Because now you gotta be funny now. Now you gotta be funny now. And how fucking grand. Like, dude, when's the last time you felt alive? Without having to do fucking drugs and shit. You know what I mean? And, like, I forget that my whole life, like, I only did that shit. Or, like, whatever. Like, I mean, I'm the only person I know who's, like, what I mean by this is for people watching this who, like, I've met, or, like, that I know in real life, like, this is probably a pretty trippy experience for both of us. I would just say, just get real with how you feel, man. Like, don't get triggered. And I can feel the energy when I say don't get triggered, like, that I have a tiny bit of ego in it, and it's gonna automatically, like, trigger some shit. I'm just saying I'm working on it, man. Like, I'm just saying, I am working on it, and I would like some help, please. From the people on the planet who signed up to do this shit, and I'm asking for God, cause fuck me. Right? But, I mean, at the same time, I'm giving myself credit, dude. Like, in a world where nobody's fucking doing anything for the right reasons, I'm glad that I didn't take their money. I'm glad that I didn't fucking lie to them. I'm glad that I didn't fucking have to tear somebody down to get to where I'm at. I'm glad that I'm alone because I'm doing the right thing. And people can say, well, no matter what, you gotta be the problem then. Well, yeah, I am part of the problem. And I'm working on it. Like, let's be real with it. Fucking, let's just be real. Be real, man. Like, don't bring problems to the table, bring solutions. And here I am telling everybody what the problem is, but I'm being part of the solution by doing this part in it. This happens to be part of my awareness, and part of what I need to get over is justifying, and here I am saying I over and over again, so I'm just going to get back to the list. Apparently I'm triggered. We release, transmute, transform all vanity, desire, wanting to be desired, fake, unable to be genuine, compulsive lying. For any reason. I feel like the people who do it because they're shy, and, like, I mean, I remember the first time I had the experience in elementary school when I lied to my friend, and as I was saying the words out of my mouth, I was having a parallel experience of being inside my body, being like, why am I saying this? I love the Olsen twins, I don't hate them. And so if that's happening to you, you know, just being aware of it and realizing that we have to stop that behavior. You know, it's part of the robotic behavior and patterns, because it's the program, right? You know, it's not authentic to us. Ding. So don't get lost in shame. Don't get lost in guilt. Like, you know what I'm saying. It does get easier. Everything gets easier. Because love's fucking grand. And ain't nothing gonna stop it. Seeking reverence. We transmute, transform, release. All seeking reverence. Justification. Bargaining. You don't have to bargain with love. You're only given, and love's only given. So that's only given. You know what I mean? Like, what's there to bargain with? Like, I gave you this, you gave me that. What's there to bargain with? The feelings of that one. That's good. Like, that's pretty nice. Pretty grand. Addiction to sugar. You know, like, my experience with it is that it's like, zoom, 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 zoom. Like, now you don't have to worry about any of your problems because you're already, like, the energy's already moving inside you. It's like you're just fucking, like, suspended in space on sugar. Release, transmute, transform all identification of things from the outside, aka princess conditioning, needing to be validated from the outside. Oh, you're such a good being. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you did such a good job. Like, yeah, it's gonna come eventually. Like, if you're doing the work. And so maybe just leave it at that. You get it when you deserve it. Come in. You're alive.
Yeah, I was gonna take a shower real quick. Do you need to use the bathroom?
I do actually have to pee. I'll be right back. Thank you. And see, I just went through my own little test. You know, like I was just talking about needing to be validated from the outside. I go out there and I'm like, thank you for telling me about the shower before you get into it, but he didn't say anything. And then he's in his drawer, and then so I come out and I see him, and he's just kind of like, you know, and I hear him like, I got so much love to give, so much energy, and I'm like, I want to see that reflected back to me. I'm like, dude, if I were you, I'd be doing this. I'd be like, oh yeah, no problem, no, you're welcome, dude. Hell yeah, heaven yeah. You know, like that would be. And so now I'm like, I'm judging the experience, leaving a big old gaping hole inside. And then, you know, like the ego would want to fill it through being like, well, hey, like, are you happy? What happened? Like, are we cool? You know, I didn't do that though because love doesn't need to do that. I know he loves me. I don't need to put restrictions on how he's being for whatever. Like, that's his own shit with him. And yeah. So I just, you know, 5D and Beyond Angels, bring it on. Like, I've been saying it pretty hard, and I'm fucking excited, dude, because every time I say it, like, I feel like we're going faster. You know? And the tests will come, and they're gonna feel real every time. Like, that's why it's a test. You know, because if it was just something you didn't feel, well, then you're in the ego. We release, transmute, transform all gay conditioning and anal retentiveness. So that one's going to be a big one for the planet, I feel like, that's going to trigger people. Because, you know, like, people worked really hard for their freedoms and their rights. But this is a cabal world, and it was a cabal game. And from my nuggets, it's that you spent more time being a masculine than a feminine, or a feminine than a masculine, so like you've embodied, so your harmonic balance is off. Like, yeah, the creation isn't androgynous. There's male and female energy. So the female is the receptive, the everything, and the male is like things in action. I mean, I think anybody watching this video probably has some idea of the difference between them, so if you want to argue about it amongst yourselves, you can, and that's just me assuming that people are going to be buttheads about words, but, and so it's just off, you know what I mean? It's a way to hide from having to embody your full higher self. You know, it's, the ego's favorite game is distraction. So we can argue about how, like, yeah, there's gay people in the etheric, which there isn't. I just kind of giggle in the background. I don't even think he was laughing at what I said. But there just isn't. So maybe it's just like everything else. Like, instead of being like, no, I know what it looks like. I know what I want looks like, and I'm gonna fucking grasp it, and everything else is gonna leave me devastated. Besides this one fucking thing. It's only one thing in infinity. Do you know how precise you'd have to get to whatever? But the point is that point that you're trying to get for has not brought you happiness, will not bring you happiness. If you're in a state of unhappy and you think that you know what you want, you gotta come back down to earth, baby. You gotta come back down to earth, baby. Well, this has been fucking great and grand, and like I realize now I've read the ego list twice and I haven't read the divine list, so fucking flower petal me to death because I need to write down the divine list. I don't know. I was trying to find a fucking loving way to say that. God's on the planet. Love is one. Do your research, man. Like, don't be that guy who's like, I fucking know everything and I'm not even gonna Google it. Because you know what you look like. Like, if you're the guy who is not looking it up before talking about it, you're more likely the guy making fun of the guy who does that. That's how it works, man. We judge and then we embody so that we can have compassion. And it's up to your soul. Like, it ain't even, like, if you think your ego's stronger than your soul, woo, baby, you gonna fucking have a wild ride, baby. It might be a fun one. Maybe that's what you signed up for, dude. Like no joke. Like, that's how it happens, too. You know what I mean? You wanted a wild ride, you'll get one. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mom ain't gonna say, no, you can't have a wild ride, baby. She's gonna say, oh, hey, whew, you enjoy me up here? I'm having a wild ride, too, says Mom. But she, like, nobody wants to ride that horse alone. You know, and they say, like, you're riding a horse off alone into the sunset. Yeah, that could be grand, but, like, do you only ever want to be alone? Like, and if you're saying yes to yourself, you're just got a lot of issues, and you're part of the problem. Because if you only want to be alone, you're probably hurting shit around you left, right, and center. Because your energy's got to be fucking dead. I don't even want to quit talking, man. No, honestly. Like, I could say you're talking about God forever. Like, I wish I could hear things back. Like, I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of Zoom call thing or something, man. Just, like, throw it out on, like, groups on whatever. Like, and how fucking grand, dude. Like, do you know how much energy this is pushing? Like, for love. Like stop thinking that somebody is being a bitch and self-important and feel into shit, man. Because at the end of the day, like, we've all got the experience of, what the fuck, Young Gravy. Like, and bro, anybody who played me Young Gravy, I was like, oh, shit, man, fucking you're in it. Like, dude, like, yeah, we hang out, and I love you, dude, and, like, I really want to tell you that that your consciousness kind of went, woo! Because if you ain't moving up, dude, and if you're too busy judging, you're going down. And as you go down, you just keep judging more and more and more. And being more of an asshole, more of an asshole, more of an asshole, and looking dumber and looking dumber and looking dumber. And nobody's talking their way out of that one. Nobody can, you can only love your way out of that one. Fuck, why did I bring that up? But yeah, okay, so yeah, you know, instead of me bitching about Young Gravy, I just gotta do whatever the fuck I wanna do. You know what I mean? It's like, and I haven't really bitched anyone. Like, that's been my own, like, funny thing on the inside, you know? Like, and laughter transforms everything, okay? Don't judge and laugh. It is fucking funny. Like, what can you do to bring up the situation around you? Like, you don't want to be talking about, like, low-vibe shit? Well, how can you fucking sneak the love in there? Like, how can you wine and dine the love in there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, I almost look at it that way, dude. Like, you can't tell nobody what to do, and everybody hates you. Doesn't matter who they are. Or, like, their ego hates you. Like, that's what the ego program is at Jingado. Its only job is to destroy love. And everybody has it in them. So it doesn't matter who you're talking to. They hate you. For one thing or another. So you gotta fucking wine and dine them. Like, oh, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've only ever talked about this stuff for 5 years. And for... like, 3.5 of them, I didn't even know that, like, God was on the fucking planet pushing shit. Like, I had a feeling inside me, and it wasn't nobody can tell me fucking otherwise. And here we are. It's led to this moment right fucking now. With me being real. And giving people a fucking chance, you know, like, to know this kind of information and to not share it, that's a problem. That's real bad. And whether it's, and I'm going to assume for most people it's unworthiness or embarrassment or whatever. Doesn't matter what it is, dude. Like, you have to look at it objectively. Yeah. And it's fucking great. Like, I mean, I've been saying stuff like this for 5 years, and no, I've never been called crazy yet. Why? Because I never came at it. Because I came at it with respect. Now, I've fallen, you know, like, I ended up talking about the situations of the planet instead of being love in action. Very true. But you know what? Like, I do care. And I am trying. And it's working because all energy put into love will be utilized, like, for love, you know? It doesn't matter if other people think that you're doing enough or whatever. I don't think you're doing it right. Because it's trying. But it's not trying in the sense of, like, doing something so it looks like it from the outside. It's like, you know if you're trying. You know if you're being sincere or real. And that's where the guilt and the shame and all that's going to come in for you on a personal level, is when you know what you're supposed to be doing. Not according to ego. Like, stop being a little wishy-washy bitch about the words. You know what you're doing. And you know what you're supposed to do. Like, from your soul to you. So if you're not listening to your heart, like, you're going to feel it. And you're going to feel it in your body. And you're going to feel it heavy. And in these energies, it could probably be pretty drowning. So these are the tools. These are the tools that can help you. So ego death ceremony, this list I just wrote off, like, I would write it down every day. And then, you know, eventually I got lazy. And I would write down some of them. Like, I'd feel into which ones I felt the most. But I still did it every day. Self-love is spiritual discipline. Get triggered by the word spiritual if you feel like it. You exist, and you know you do, and you feel it, and you know you're not going to kill yourself, so therefore, you know, the only other choice you have is to feel better by doing the things that will actually make you feel better. And that'll change. That'll change over and over and over and over and over again, like, literally for eternity. And so, the powers that were made humanity weak by never letting us make our own decisions. They're like, okay, you got 2 decisions ever. Like, do what we want and work yourself to death, or don't do what we want and sit in prison. We don't care. But that's it. You had 2 choices. Suck a dick or suck a dick. Well, you have an infinity of choices. Now that can feel a little overwhelming to a being that's only ever just been taken care of because they did what the others around them wanted them to do. Like, oh, my family took care of me because I did this, that, or the other thing. Okay, well, you just sold your soul to the devil, baby. Just sold your soul to the devil. So whatever, we sold our soul to the devil. Okay, now, like, let's buy our let's just become let's just be grander than that. Be grander than that. And if you don't know what it feels like to be grander than that, like, come on, dude. Like, you've never done anything in your life that just felt so fucking, like, powerful and grand and, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, fucking energy, dude. Like, shit is fucking popping. And I can feel it. Like, you can't tell me you've never had that experience or witnessed it. Like, I don't believe that a single being can tell me that. So now you have to be fucking real with yourself. Like, this is where the fun begins, man. Like, this is where love begins. I mean, love ain't got a beginning or ending, but, like, if you wanted to play, now's the time to play. Like, take that energy that you got and alchemize it with love, baby. What you got? You know, what you got? Let's play. Let's play with love. God, I'm so excited right now. I'll be back. I love you guys. Loveisone.org, Love is One YouTube, man. Like, the fingers ain't because I think I know better. Be a part of love, baby. Come join us. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Peace.